What's up, guys? We have a lot of good stuff to talk about today, including Coulson's Kit and release, Gravitons Kit, all the aim reworks, changes to Wolverine, bonus shield updates, new Invisible Woman details, and more, so let's get right into it. We'll start off by taking a look at Graviton, as he looks pretty beastly. So Graviton's basic is Gravity Well. Attack the primary target for 250% damage, and bonus attack for 100% damage per negative effect on the target. This, of course, synergizes really well with the reworked AIM team, but it will also synergize well with the Spider-Verse, the Brotherhood, and various Mystic teams. Graviton Special is Crushing Force. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Attack the primary target for 300% damage, apply +2 slow up to a maximum of 5 to the primary target and adjacent targets. If Scientist Supreme is an ally, apply bleed to the primary target and adjacent targets. This is a solid ability, and when used alongside characters like Quake and Ant-Man, can quickly get out of control with entire teams slowed for entire fights. Graviton's ultimate is Singularity. This ability costs 6 energy and starts full. Attack the primary target for 300% damage, plus 100% additional damage per negative effect, and apply stun. This ability in particular is a very strong one, both because it can stun a target on turn 1, and because it can deal insane damage when paired with early debuff-heavy characters like Carnage, Doctor Strange, and possibly even Psylocke. Graviton's passive is Weight of the World. When an enemy drops below 50% health, increase the duration of their negative effects by +1 up to a maximum of 5. AIM minion allies gain 20% damage. AIM minion allies gain 20% max health. In War, on turn, change the speed bar of the enemy with the highest speed by -25%. In War, when an enemy drops below 75% health, apply Disrupted. This passive is an absolute game changer. Not only does Graviton empower the entire AIM team, but he extends all debuffs when dropping enemies below 50%, which is incredible for AoE debuff teams like Spider-Verse, Brotherhood, and various Mystic teams. In War, he completely changes the dynamic of the enemy team by slowing the fastest enemy character and jumping in with a Disrupted as soon as an enemy drops below 75% health, and that's also absolutely insane for shutting down teams like the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Defenders. So Graviton looks awesome, and definitely opens up some interesting theory crafting opportunities. Now let's take a look at his team. A lot of people have been asking how good the new AIM team are, and my experience after playing them is that they're a really solid, versatile team that do exceptionally well into debuff-heavy enemy teams. They're a strong blitz team who'll have no trouble taking out the defenders. They're also definitely a solid Alliance War team. So without further ado, let's check them out. We'll start with Scientist Supreme. Scientist Supreme's basic is Serum Pistol. Attack primary target for 240% damage, apply 2 random negative effects to primary target. So this ability wasn't really changed, although it works better for the team as you'll soon see, and she'll also gain additional damage from Graviton. Scientist Supreme's special is Field Trials. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Flip 4 negative effects into positive effects for all allies. Apply 2 regeneration to self and all AIM allies. Increase duration of all positive effects on self and all AIM allies by +1 up to a maximum of 3. So this ability got a major facelift. Firstly, the energy cost was brought down to 3, which is amazing. This allows you to pair Scientist Supreme with Star-Lord and render any team virtually debuff immune. Flipping 4 negative effects for all allies and granting regen, and then extending the duration of all positive effects is insanely useful. It also means Scientist Supreme will pair very well with Ultron, especially since she's villain tech. Scientist Supreme's ultimate is Retro Vaccination. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Heal all allies for 3,500 health plus 15% of this character's max health. Apply 2 to 3 random negative effects to all non-AIM allies and all enemies for 2 turns. Gain 50% extra focus per each AIM ally for this attack. So this ability also got significantly better. Firstly, it now heals for much more. Secondly, it no longer applies the debuffs to AIM allies. And finally, she gains extra focus per AIM ally to reliably land all the debuffs against the enemy team. And finally, Scientist Supreme's passive, Mad Science. On spawn, change speed bar by plus 10% per aim ally. On turn, 25% chance to revive an ally with 20% max health. Aim allies revive with 30% of max health instead. On turn, grant 1 to 2 ability energy to all aim allies with a negative effect. This passive is so good for so many reasons. Gaining 40% speed bar on spawn with an aim team is great because it will allow her to ult right away and cripple the enemy team. In addition, she gives out ability energy to debuffed aim allies, which is deceptively good because, as you're about to see, their ability energy costs are all very low. I can't wait. So next up, we'll quickly take a look at each of the minions, starting with Aim Assaulter. Assaulter's basic is Submachine Gun. Attack primary target for 160% damage and apply bleed for 2 turns. So the bleed now lasts for 2 turns, and they did fix the counter and assist that was bugged. That's it. Assaulter's special is Hyperdose. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Attack primary target for 250% damage. If this character has a negative effect, bonus attack the primary target for 125% per negative effect on the target. Gain speed up for 4 turns. So I like that they added damage to this ability, and used on the right team you can get a lot of value out of the bonus attack per enemy negative effect. Assaulter's passive is Juicer. On turn, change speed bar by plus 20% for self and adjacent aim allies. Gain plus 15% damage and plus 10% max health. So they kept the speed bar gain concept from the old special and added it to the passive, but you can now use Assaulter to speed up your choice of 2 aim allies, which is awesome, flexible utility. I really like this kit design that puts more control in the player's hands. Next up, we'll look at Aim Infector. Infector's basic is Puncture. Attack primary target for 270% damage, transfer all negative effects on this character to the primary target and apply a random negative effect. No major change here aside from making the random debuff guaranteed. Infector's special is Biohazard. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Change speed bar by plus 75%, heal self for 10,000 plus 20% of max health, gain 2 counter, apply 2 counter to adjacent aim allies. So this ability got way better. Now you gain 75% speed bar when using it, and you heal for a very significant amount. Selectively applying counters is also a nice touch. Infector's passive is Metabolism. On turn, gain 2 random negative effects for 2 turns, gain plus 10% speed, gain plus 15% max health. On turn, if offense down, gain offense up for 2 turns. If defense down, gain defense up for 2 turns. If slow, gain speed up for 2 turns. This ability also got much better. While Infector is still somewhat intended to harbor debuffs, he will now automatically balance them out by self-applying the corresponding positive effects. After using his basic to transfer the debuffs, he will still have the positive effects for another turn. Next up is Aim Monstrosity. Monstrosity's basic is Bash. Attack primary target for 280% damage and apply defense down. No change. Monstrosity's special is Sudden Evolution. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Gain offense up and apply offense up to adjacent aim allies for 3 turns. Attack primary target for 300% damage. This attack cannot miss. Note, offense up happens before the attack only at ability level 7. So they added some nice damage to this ability and granted the ability to offense up adjacent aim allies, which again is a nice mechanical change they've made to this team, giving the players more agency. The ability still gives the offense ups at lower levels, but at rank 7 the offense up triggers before the attack, while at lower levels it triggers after. Another interesting change by the devs that gets me excited for what's to come. Monstrosity's passive is Growth Spurt. On spawn, gain defense down. On turn, heal for 20% of max health. So they rerouted Monstrosity's sustain from the special to the passive, which improved it, and kept the defense down included, but with the new Scientist Supreme kit, you have the option to use Scientist Supreme to flip that into a defense up before almost any enemy can even take a turn. So that's pretty nice. Up next, we'll take a look at Aim Researcher. Researcher's basic is Wounding Shot. Attack primary target for 280% damage and apply offense down for 1 turn. And again, no change. Researcher's special is Surgery Drone. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Heal lowest health ally and adjacent allies for 7,000 health, plus 15% of this character's max health, and flip bleed on lowest health ally and adjacent allies. So this heal no longer comes with a debuff tax, which means it's now actually worth using, especially since you can selectively heal 2 allies of your choosing and they don't need to be aim. Researcher's passive is Antidote. On turn, choose 1 random ally to apply 1 random positive effect from this list. Offense up, defense up, speed up, regeneration, deathproof, deflect. If ally is aim, then apply 2 random positive effects from the list. When a negative effect is applied to an aim ally, fill this character's speed bar by plus 20%. So this new passive really shines. In addition to the usual positive effects pool, Researcher can now randomly hand out deathproof, deflect, and regeneration, which are all excellent for survival. And the speed bar gain on ally debuff could result in a ton of healing against certain enemy team comps. And finally, let's check out aim security. Security's basic is Takedown. Attack primary target for 270% damage. If ability blocked, attack primary target for 470% damage instead. Apply slow. So not much change here, other than dealing extra damage while ability blocked, which is a nice touch. Security Special is Charge Capacitor. This ability costs 3 energy and starts full. Gain Taunt for 1 turn, slow for 2 turns. Heal self and adjacent aim allies for 10,000 health plus 10% of max health. Clear speed up on self. Not much change here either. Clearing speed up on self to extend taunt duration is nice, and the heal is definitely better. And it applies to adjacent aim now, which is a lot better. Security's passive is Immunization. On attacked, if Scientist Supreme is an ally, when above 75% health, transfer 1 negative effect from self and each aim ally to the attacking enemy. Gain plus 10% max health and plus 15% resistance. So this passive is pretty sweet. It's like Groot's passive, but on steroids. All in all, not half bad. So the aim reworks and the introduction of Graviton look pretty sweet, but now we get to talk about my favorite part of this patch, Phil Coulson. We don't know how he'll be released, but we do know that he's coming this patch. And, along with a few small shield updates, he's going to turn the Fury Shield team into the single most formidable Alliance War defense team there is. During the bit of playtesting we got to do, we found that only the X-Men could reliably stand up to a Fury Shield team with Coulson in Alliance War. Even the Fantastic Four could only manage about a 50% win rate against them. They're absolutely nuts, so let's check out why by looking at Coulson's kit. Coulson's basic is Night Night Gun. Attack primary target for 230% damage, and chain to 2 to 4 adjacent targets for 180% damage. Counterattack breaks this chain. Change speed bar of primary and secondary targets by 20%. So this basic is pretty good. A healthy chain that changes speed bar of each target hit is really nice, and synergizes well with what his team can already do in regards to turn meter rewind. Coulson Special is EMP Punch. This ability costs 5 energy and starts full. Attack primary target for 200% damage. Attack all other enemies for 150% damage. On war defense, transfer 4 positive effects from primary target to all non-minion shield allies, and flip all positive effects on primary target. Then remove all positive effects from all enemies, and apply slow to all tech enemies. So this ability is pretty wicked. It completely flips all enemy buffs after stealing 4 of them and giving them to Fury and any other non-minion shield allies on war defense, but even outside of war, it will remove all positive effects from all enemies, which is incredible. Slowing tech is a nice touch, and it makes them even better when defending against power armor. This will even give attacking Ultron teams a lot of trouble. Coulson's ultimate is Teamwork. This ability costs 7 energy and starts full. Apply offense up to all shield allies. On war defense, clear all positive effects from the enemy with the most damage. Apply defense down and taunt to the enemy with the most damage. Call 2 allies with the most damage to attack the enemy with the most damage. Attack all enemies for 280% damage. So this ability is absolutely insane. Offense up to all shield allies is really strong. This ability is essentially a death sentence to the strongest enemy damage dealer in war. Applying a defense down and a taunt, in addition to calling your 2 strongest allies to assist, and then hitting with an AoE is borderline overkill, especially since those shield allies will be offense upped. And in war, he'll even remove any defense up and death proof the target has. If this ability doesn't insta-kill the target, the taunt it applies directs the rest of the team to finish them off. And since this hunts for the highest damage enemy, this ability prioritizes characters like Rocket, War Machine, Human Torch, etc., and takes them out before they can even take a turn. It's just brutal. And finally, Coulson's passive is the Agent. If Coulson drops below 50% health, change speed bar by 60% for Shield Medic. On War Defense, gain 40% max health. Shield allies gain 40% max health. On Spawn, apply immunity to all shield allies, gain 120% resistance. Shield allies gain 120% resistance. That extra speed bar for Medic is already incredible, but the additional War Defense perks are over the top. Giving himself and his entire team 40% max health? Nuts. Spawning the team with immunity? More nuts. Giving the entire team another 120% more resistance? At this point, you are looking at the Apex War Defense team, period. Side note, in War specifically, shield minions and Nick Fury buffs like Assault's crit, Fury's heal, Operative's focus, etc. will also affect Agent Coulson. Now, we just talked about Coulson's passive giving Shield Medic 60% speed bar when he drops below 50% health. That's actually even better than it seems, thanks to a couple small shield changes also coming with this patch. For starters, Shield Medic Special will now have 100% chance to revive Coulson if he is dead, in addition to her normal 20% chance to revive a shield ally. Also, her special now heals all shield for bonus health, not just shield minions. Quake is also getting a bit of love, as her special will now also apply slow starting this patch. Seeing as Fury Shield is my strongest team, as I have them all gear tier 13, and I have 6 red stars for both my Medic and my Quake, I'll be referring to this patch as the Khasino patch. I also want to mention the changes to everyone's favorite Claude Canadian, Wolverine. His special is getting a nice update. Starting this patch, if Phoenix is an ally, the primary target takes increased damage. If Psylocke is an ally, the attack can't be counterattacked, and if Cyclops is an ally, all secondary attacks have a 100% chance to crit. But most importantly, his passive is getting a huge boost. Starting in 3.5.0, he'll gain plus 5% speed for each X-Men ally. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the fast and ferocious Logan we all know and love. And last, but certainly not least, I wanted to give a few small updates on the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. We didn't get any new info on her from the Envoy program, but a few of us got to playtest her while visiting Foxnext, so I wanted to share with everyone what we saw. The way the playtesting was conducted, we didn't actually get to see her on the roster page, so I can't tell you her exact stats, but I can tell you that on a full Fantastic Four plus Namor team, she's the third to take a turn, putting her speed somewhere between 102 and 113. I can also tell you that her special cost 4 energy, while her ultimate costs 6 energy, and both are available on turn 1. Now this last bit of info is just trivia, but I was curious how much barrier a character can actually stack, and it turns out that max barrier is equal to 30% of the character's max health. This means tankier characters can also hold more barrier. But alright, so that about covers everything. My head is spinning from all these new kits and changes, and I had to give up an entire full day of my vacation to make this video on a laptop, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. I stream Marvel Strike Force every single day on Twitch at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and that's at twitch.tv/Khasino. So feel free to swing by and hang out. Also, anyone is welcome to join my Discord, discord.gg/Khasino. We got blitz predictions, infographics, videos, content creator Q&A, and more. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you right now, so I will see you guys real soon. Until then, peace!